Today we are following another YouTuber's makeup tutorial, and today I've picked the one and only Tana Mongeau. I really like Tana. I think she's so funny. She doesn't give a shit about anything, and she also doesn't do a lot of makeup tutorials on her channel either. So I thought Tana would be quite a fun one to follow along. So I googled and found one of her most popular ones. This is how to cake your face like a pro. So let's just follow along and see where it gets us. First thing Tana does, instead of washing her hands, she applies hand sanitizer instead. But to be honest, I don't even wash my hands before I do my own makeup sometimes, so is that a bit gross? For the next step, Tana uses a primer water to spritz her face. I don't have the exact one that she used, but I have one from Primark. It's just the primer water. Next it's primer, and Tana uses the Benefit Professional, but I don't have that one. I do have this Soft Focus Pore Perfect HD Matte Veil, so I'm just going to use this. I don't actually use a primer that often because I don't feel that they actually work for me, but Tana says that we have to apply like way too much, so I think that's probably like way too much. She just applies this like everywhere. I feel like this is like not soaking in at all. For foundation, Tana uses the Marc Jacobs foundation, which I don't have, so I picked another like full coverage foundation. So I'm going to use the Fenty Beauty foundation, and she applies this like everywhere and onto her neck as well. So I'm just gonna kind of dot it everywhere before I blend it in. And she puts it all down her neck as well. And then she does use a beauty blender, so I'm going to use mine. And when she was doing her foundation, she was kind of like dragging it down rather than like pressing it in. So I'm just going to do it the same as how she blended it. And I'll probably apply a couple of layers of this because Tana likes her full coverage. So I'm just doing a second layer with it, and she also puts her foundation under her eyes as well, so let's try that out. Okay, so next she takes a flat brush and then goes all over the foundation to like buff it in even more, just so there's not any streaks or anything. But if you're gonna really blend it in with your beauty sponge, you'll probably find you don't actually get many streak marks. So I'll just lightly buff this in and then down onto my neck as well. So for concealer, Tana doesn't always use one under her eyes because we have applied foundation there, but for this video she does apply some under her eyes. She does use the Maybelline Age Rewind, which I do have, but I only have the neutralizer shade and it is quite yellow. I think it's going to be quite too yellow for me today, so I'm just going to use my usual Makeup Revolution one. So she applies it underneath her eyes in a triangle. And this one's sort of only maybe like one shade lighter than my foundation. And then she goes down her nose, on her chin, and then she does like any spot concealing, which I don't have at the moment, so I'm going to leave that step. And then she just blends that straight in with her beauty blender. I think she's using the actual beauty blender, but this one is the Real Techniques one. So now it's time to set the base, and Tana uses the Laura Mercier translucent powder, and it is literally one of the best powders ever. I don't usually apply it with the kind of brush that she applies it with. She uses like a big fluffy brush like this. She just kind of takes a lot on the brush and just kind of buffs it all over. I feel like I've just breathed all that in. Moving on to contour slash bronzer, Tana uses the Kat Von D Contour Kit, but I only have the Anastasia Beverly Hills one, so I'm going to use that one, I think, at the end. And she says that she does this in a 3 motion like all the beauty gurus do, so let's do exactly the same. She also says that she does this quite fast and vigorously so it all blends, so let's see if doing it super fast helps. So around the top of the forehead as well. Okay, so with the same brush she also goes over her eyelids with the same powder, and then she also goes down the sides of her nose as well, which, to be fair, I do this exact same step because I can't contour my nose either, and I do find that this like just helps a little bit into making everything like blend together. Now she moves on to the yellow shade in the palette, and I feel like Tana is even worse than me for not changing the brushes between colours because I'm so bad for that as well. She uses the same brush and she puts this on the top of her cheekbones as if it was like a highlighter, and then down the bridge of her nose and on her chin as well. Okay, what's next? For eyebrows, Tana fills hers in using an eyeshadow, which I think I'm going to struggle with because I never use a powder to fill in my eyebrows. I'm just going to mix some shades out of this palette just because I've already got it open. I think I'm going to mix them two there and just fill in my eyebrows. I'm not even sure if Tana brushes hers through before she starts, but mine are that wild, I have to. I feel like using a powder I can never create like a nice precise eyebrow. I also feel like hers are naturally shaped a little bit better than mine, so she can get away with this. So next we're moving on to eyeshadow. Tana uses the bronze palette from Kylie Cosmetics, which I do actually have, and she starts off with that orange one in the middle and then she mixes it with that one. So we'll do that on a fluffy brush. Okay, so then we blend this into our crease, and she also uses a big fluffy brush as well. Okay, then she uses the like bone coloured shade, the whiter one, and she puts this all up to the inner corner, I think. So right to the inner corner and the inner half, I think. I'm not sure what brush she uses, but I think she uses like a flatter brush like this one. And then Tana uses this sort of shimmery shade, the middle one, and this goes onto the outer part here. And then she blends it into the white, and I think she kind of takes it over like the rest of the eyelid. Okay, so then she takes this shimmery bronzy colour right there, and this goes on the outer part of the eye and then into the crease as well. And I wouldn't usually put a shimmery shade in the crease because they're a little bit harder to blend, but we'll make it work. Tana made it work, so we can make it work. Next step is using this more reddish brown right there, and this one goes on the outside of the eyelid and also underneath the eye, and I think she only kind of goes like halfway, so that is what we'll do. Another thing I have noticed is that we haven't gone in and blended like any of this together really. We've just applied each shade and then that's it, so it doesn't look like we're going back to reblend anything, which is cool. Next, it's liquid eyeliner time, and Tana just does a small line just straight across her eye just to blend in the eyelashes that we're going to apply. So this is the NYX Professional Makeup That's the Point eyeliner pen, and I'll just do just a really thin line all the way across. Time for lashes now, and I do actually have the lashes that Tana uses in the video. So these are the Eyelure Vegas Nay, the Grand Glamour lashes. So I'm going to apply these off camera. Tana does actually trim these to make them fit, which is good because these are quite a big lash. So yeah, I'll apply these and then I'll be straight back. So lashes are on, and next step is mascara. Tana uses the Too Faced Better Than Sex Waterproof, but I only have the normal version, so I'm just going to use this. And Tana goes in with the mascara, like especially on the under eye, so I'm going to apply quite a lot. I would usually apply mascara before applying my lashes, but that's not the way Tana does it. Okay, so feel for the under eye, she really does apply quite a lot. So we'll apply like a few coats. So last but not least, it is time for lipstick. Tana uses Honey Love from MAC, but I've only got a couple of MAC lipsticks, so I'm going to mix them together. I have Velvet Teddy, which is more of like a brownie nude, and then I have Fleur de Coral, which I think is discontinued now. I'm just going to apply a bit of this over the top, because I think this is a little bit darker than the one she used. So she goes straight in, nail lip liner, none of that jazz. And then I'll just do a little bit of the lighter one. The last step is setting spray. She had run out of hers but I haven't run out of mine, so I'm going to apply a little bit of the Sport FX Face Mist and Fix. Okay, so I think that we are done. I really wish I had a blonde wig because then I could see if I actually looked a bit more like Tana or not. But yeah, I think we did alright. Let me know if there's anyone else you want me to follow down in the comments. And I really hope you like it. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!